Hey everyone, it's AURET here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a PDF worksheet, but using PowerPoint. Let's get started. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you a few examples that I've designed in the past so you can kind of get an idea of what you can do with PowerPoint. I have been using PowerPoint to design hundreds and hundreds of PDFs, whether they are lead magnets like the freebies when someone opts into a website, worksheets, contracts, guides, manuals, goal setting planners, all that kind of stuff. I've used PowerPoint to design everything, and it's been perfect because even though I know how to use Photoshop, using PowerPoint is just so much more user-friendly. And when I do design the finished product, my customers are able to then take the editable file and go make any changes they want at a later date if needed. With Photoshop, it's a little bit different. You need to know how to use the software. You need the software. So this works out perfectly. So let me show you a few examples here. This one is a goal setting worksheet that I designed for a customer. You can see it's pretty straightforward. You know, if you want people to write in to the page, you can either create fill-in boxes like you see here, or lines. So here is, well, this is another box one, and just to show you, including some pictures on the side here. And this is the one with lines, so you can choose whether you want box fill-ins or lines. This is another kind of layout, and you'll start to see a pattern with the samples I'm showing you. I typically put the logo at the top here, then the title underneath, or sometimes it goes to the side like you see here, depending on how much space we need. And then I typically put like a subtitle or instructions underneath and then go into the worksheet itself. So here's kind of a similar format with the name and the date, having them add the name and the date at the top. Then it uses both the boxes and the lines here. You can create numbers, really a lot of cool things that you could do. This is a simpler one with the title there, instructions below, and then you could create either circles for the numbers like I showed you here, or there's different shapes that you can create, kind of like tabs that come out of the page with the numbers on there, and you can create unique bullet points and that sort of thing. So much you can do. Here are a few more complex examples. You can do something like a budget tracker, really going into a table design with lots of details here. There's a quote here, there's some total boxes over here. This is a daily actions tracker, so you can create little check boxes, having them fill in things beside those check boxes. There's a lot of stuff that you could do here. This is also something like a tracker, but at the same time incorporating what the person ate today. So it's a combination of boxes, lines, check boxes, bullet points. There's a little section here for notes. Here's where they can color in how many cups of water they drank. So a lot of cool stuff that that you can create. Now let's start creating something like this. I'm going to do something simpler. We'll use this as an example to kind of show you how to create something like this. Okay, so this we'll create something like this where it's simple, and at the end here you have a call to action. So let's open up PowerPoint. Now when you open up PowerPoint, you'll see this screen here. You want to click on blank presentation because we're going to create something from scratch. So when you click on that, it will automatically default to the slide size because PowerPoint is typically used for presentations, but we're going to do so much more with it. What you want to do though is, first thing is to change the canvas size so that it is the size of a regular piece of paper. You can also, make it A4, whatever size paper you need. So to do that, go to Design, the Design tab up here. You're going to go to Slide Size, and underneath, click on Custom Slide Size. That's a tongue twister, slide size. Next you want to go to letter paper. So I typically design on letter sized paper. Here in the States, in the UK, it might be a little bit different. It might be A4 or something like that. You can really choose anything here that you like, or you can also customize it by putting in the dimensions over here. So I just chose letter size paper. I want it to be in portrait mode, not landscape. So like that. And you can just click whichever one here and it'll change it for you. So now we are ready to start designing. Now what we can do is right off the bat add a title in here. So I'll just put worksheet title for now. And then you can arrange the size of that like so, the size of the box, and you can click and drag and move it around here fairly easily. I'm going to go to the Home tab because I want to adjust what this looks like. So I'm going to choose a different font. Let's choose Futura. All right, so that is my worksheet title. What I want to do is create a bar here. So like in the example, we're going to put the logo at the top, title, instructions below, and then go into the worksheet. So let's make some room for the logo actually. I'm going to move it down a little bit. To change the background color of this title box, go to Format, and then you can play around with the colors here. So let's just choose this blue color for now. Actually, let's choose something deeper. Okay, let's choose that blue, and I'm going to change the text to white so that it stands out more. Okay, so here we'll just pretend like we're going to insert a logo. So I'm going to go Insert, Pictures. You're going to find the logo on your computer and put that in. Let's just say, I'm just going to pretend this is my logo here. It's actually a logo in the past that I've used for my music. So let's just pretend that's it. I want to arrange the size of it to make it a little bit bigger. Oh, and by the way, you can zoom in and zoom out on the canvas using this area on the bottom right corner. So that's how I was able to do that. Let's say you want to crop a part out of the logo, like this line here I don't need. So I'm going to click on Crop in the Format tab. Go like so. Let's just say I don't want any of that leopard print. And I'm going to increase the size even more. Okay. So it's a little bit low resolution, but let's just pretend it's a good high res logo that we have on top there. So there's my logo, my title. Underneath here, I want to include instructions for the worksheet. So I'm going to use this other text box here and put instructions. Fill out the worksheet below. Fairly simple instructions. You can write whatever you want there. I'm going to adjust the title, adjust the size of the box here, and change the font again to Futura BK. Okay, now I want the text to be centered in the box here. So I'm going to go to Align Text, click on Middle, and it does that nicely for me. Maybe just make it a little bit smaller and then put it right up against the title there. Change the background to a light gray, maybe bold this one, and maybe I want to make this all capitals. Instead of retyping it out, I can go to this area here and just ask it to put it in all uppercase. You can also adjust the spacing between the letters with this right here, so you can play around with that. Okay, so let's just go with that for now. We're satisfied with it. Now comes to actually creating the worksheet. Oh, one more thing before you start to design the questions is what I like to do is always include a footer on the bottom of most of my worksheets. So in this example has it here. You'll see it has a little footer that says all rights reserved with the copyright sign and then your website or your business name. So let's do that first. And just to have a balance of color, I like to typically use the same color that I have on the title. Not always though. So what I did to copy that is click on it. I'm going Control-C on my keyboard. If you have a Mac, it might be different. Or you can right-click, go copy, and again, right-click, go paste, or you can go Control-V to paste that. So I'm going to put that down here, delete that, and make it smaller. So about that size. And I am going to set the font here and write all rights reserved. Let's put in a copyright symbol, and to do that you go Insert, Symbol, and find it on here. I always use it, so it's under my recently used symbols, but you might need to look for it here. And then you double click it, go Close, and that's in there. And then let's just go mywebsite.com. Okay, we want to make that a lot smaller, so I'm going to click on that and reduce. You can either choose the font size here or just play with these buttons to go up and down. So I'm going to make it pretty small here and have it centered. Do you guys remember how to do that? I'm already hovering above the button, so I kind of gave it away, but when things, I've just been doing this for so long that things just become automatic, and I can design pretty quickly now, so without even thinking, my mouse will move to that area. All right, so this is what we have so far. Not too bad, pretty good composition so far. What we want to do is now add in the question. So let's do a combination of boxes and lines so you can get a sense of what it's like here. First of all, I'm going to create my number. So I'm going to insert a shape here, and you can insert a ton of shapes. You can insert the circle for the number 1, 2, 3. You can insert these little tabs here, which was on the original sample, like that. So you can choose what you want. Let's choose the circle for now. Create that circle. Like so. You just click and drag. And I'm going to use a different color. Let's say, what's a complementary color to blue? I think that's orange. So let's use something like that. Okay. You can see by default, it has a colored outline around the shape. If you want to remove that, just click on the shape, go to Format. This is where you can make many adjustments to your shape. So Format is a tab that I spend a lot of my time in. You can go to Shape Outline and select No Outline to just clean that up a bit. And then I just double click on it and put number 1. I'm going to stay consistent with the fonts here, so I'm going to use Futura and bold it. Maybe reduce the size a bit, reduce the size of this, and there you go. Okay, we have number 1. Now I can go and copy it like so, or using my keyboard shortcuts and pasting more on top, and just, let's just say I have three main questions here. And you can see here when I'm moving around, it automatically tells me whether I am centered with everything, whether the spacing is equal. So that is another thing that I really like about PowerPoint, is that it'll automatically snap into making it centered, into putting it in the middle, whatever you need. If you wanted, it also has arranging options. Like if I wanted this number, for example, to be in the middle, under the Home tab, I can go to Arrange, Align, Center, and it'll move it right in the center for me. I don't have to sit here, eyeballing it and that kind of thing. So that's really cool. Okay, so we have that. Now I need to insert the question, right? So we need to insert text. And I'm just going to, let's just pretend this is the question. Please answer question number 1. Okay, let's make this smaller. Go back to the other font, okay, and that is my question. So I can also copy that text box and move it into place here, and just adjust the question like so. Let's make more space in between the questions so we have space to add our boxes. So I'm going to move this down and move this one down and wait for those arrows, there you go, to tell me that there's equal spacing in between. All right, now let's insert a shape, and this is going to be the box, right? So we can click and drag that into place. I don't want it to be filled because I want people to fill it in themselves when they print out the worksheet. So I'm going to select white, or you can say no fill as well. The outline, I want it to stay orange, and I want that outline to be a little bit thicker. So we can adjust that by going to shape outline, weight, and just increasing the weight a little bit. All right, so let's do that. Let's reduce it a little bit. Okay, now I can click to copy. And remember, again, right click, go copy, and then right click, go paste, or you can use the shortcuts on your keyboard. For me, it is Control C and then Control V to paste. Again, I'm waiting to see, there we go. Those arrows that let me know I'm centered. Okay, so let's zoom out, see what this looks like so far. Not too bad. What I want to do is kind of move this over a little bit because it kind of looks like it's leaning on one side of the page, and we have enough room here to do that. So I'm going to click and drag my cursor to select all of those little pieces, and then I can use the arrows on my keyboard to move them over like so, and then I'm going to move it up as well. And when you click out of it, you can see that looks a lot better. Okay, let's insert now questions with lines on them. So I'm going to copy this, and because it's a separate section, I'm going to move it down a little bit more. We'll go number 4, and now we're going to go to Insert, under Shapes, select the Line tool, and then you can click and drag. All right. Now you'll notice here I just kind of eyeballed the length or the width of the line, but I'm not exactly sure if it is the same width as the box, and I want it to be equal so that it all lines up. So to do that, you need to first check the dimensions of the width of the box. When I click on it, you can see here that the width is 6.05. So I want to make sure when I click on the line, yes, 6.05. If it wasn't, if it was different, you can always click in here and make it exactly equal. So let's click on that. I'm going to make that orange, and again increase the weight of the line and move that down because we haven't yet told people what we want them to write about. So let's copy and paste that. You can see I'm using a lot of shortcuts, and that's just because I've designed hundreds of these things that I've just really dialed in the shortcuts to move a little bit faster. For you, you'll definitely be moving slower in the beginning. That was the case for me in the beginning, but once you get the hang of it, things will move a lot faster. So let's just pretend this is another question. So list all of your favorite things below. Okay, and we're going to copy and paste that. And right now I'm just eyeballing it. You can see that the spacing is not equal in between the lines. And there is a way to do that so that PowerPoint does it for you. Basically, let's just make it even messier here. Let's just pretend all of the lines were like that, okay? I'm going to select all of them and I'm going to click on Align Center so that it moves everything in the center. And then I want the spacing between the lines to be evenly distributed. So I can go to Align, Distribute Vertically, and voila, look at how nice and clean that is. I love PowerPoint. I love it so much. So there you go. That's perfect spacing in between. I'm going to move that down a little bit, even further. And if you wanted, you can add little bullet points here again by going to Insert, Shapes, and let's just pretend this is something I want to add in here, making it blue with no outline, and again copying and pasting this. All right. Okay, so you can sit here again organizing them, or you can just select all of it, go to Align Center and Distribute Vertically, and it will do a nice job of doing that for you. If you want to, you can either select multiple items like this by clicking and dragging as I've shown you, or another keyboard shortcut is to click while holding down the the Control key on a PC again, and then just clicking on each item so it selects each one by one for you. So I don't want to spend too much time doing that, but just to show you how each piece is done. And then maybe you can add some sort of call to action here. So let's insert a text box and say, share your answers with us at, let's just pretend it's some sort of Twitter handle, okay? And I'll show you how to hyperlink that as well. So I'm going to move that into the center, and I want to make it a nice bold font. So let's go back to the Futura font and move that into place. I'm going to actually make it center and move it into place like so. And I'm deciding whether or not I want to add a color behind that box, but I don't think it needs it. I think it's good and it stands out nicely on its own, and this will be blue anyways because I'm going to hyperlink it. So let's copy or select that text, right click, go to hyperlink, and then here you can type in your link. Let's just pretend this is the link. When I click on enter, you'll see here it changes it to a blue clickable link. And when you PDF that, it will remain clickable as well, which is nice. You can change the color of this too if you want. If you don't want it to be blue, you can adjust the color like so, but we like it blue. All right, well, you can make this prettier as well too, but just wanted to show you how we were able to design a full-on worksheet in PowerPoint. The last step, of course, besides saving the document, is to save it as a PDF. So make sure you save the PowerPoint file itself, and you do that by going to File, Save As, and then just choose somewhere. I'm just going to choose my desktop to save it. It's going to be saved as a PowerPoint presentation. So save that first because that is the editable file where you can always open up and come back and re-edit things and change things if needed. And then the second step is to go back to File, click on Save As, go back to the desktop or wherever you saved it, and where it says Save as Type, click on that and select PDF. And when you do that, it will publish it, and let's go take a look at our PDF. All right, So there is our finished worksheet, PDF worksheet, all designed in PowerPoint. And you can see here that I've made this clickable. So when I click on it, it'll go to the website, it'll open up the browser, which is great. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys. Let me know if you have any more questions or if you'd like to see a specific worksheet or PDF designed in PowerPoint. Let me know and I'd be happy to do so. If you have a lot of worksheets to get designed or you just don't have the time to do this yourself, you probably wouldn't have watched until the end of this video. But just in case, if you do, if you go to try this out and it's not something you enjoy doing very much and you just want to offload these design projects, I would be so happy to help you guys. I love doing this. Like, I really love designing in PowerPoint. So let me know if you need some help. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can click on that, check it out, and see if you'd like to work together. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Back from the dead.